Hello, my name is Sarah Taylor and welcome to the ToolBox. This is my capstone project that I've been working on all year. So I'm going to take you through the four-part story of how we got here at this symposium. So my story. So in year 9 Australia, which is equivalent to freshman year in America, I got this idea. This was a mesh between coding and depression. I got into coding this year, and I also was diagnosed with depression during this year. And this idea to mesh these two things together has stuck with me ever since. So how do we get from there to here? So in 2016, I moved to America. Then last year, I took an AP course in computer science. This year, I built my project, and now we're here at Symposium. So the problem that I want to work on. So the problem is all about wanting to help people track their depression because it's very hard. So the recovery curve is very slow progress, and it can take people from anywhere from a few months to a couple years to really get in a good place with their depression, because it's very common for people to have relapses, and that relapse curve can be like very steep, and you can go downhill very fast. So it's important that you are able to see your progress, and you're able to see, where you're falling down at times. But it's also important for the relapse curve because sometimes people can slowly get more depressed instead of just getting really depressed immediately. This also has to do with how the brain stores emotional data. If you're working with a clinician or a therapist, they'll ask you, how you've been feeling in the past week. Studies show that most of the time you can only remember how you've been feeling for about 2 to 3 days. So really having this data is helpful for not just only you, but any clinicians and therapists that you are working with. The solution. So the solution to this project is an app. So how can an app help solve this project? So you get to track your data in real time, you get to track your data over time, and you can see your progression and regression. This can also be shared with mental health professionals, which, as I said in the problem statement, is very helpful. And it's just very helpful to see all this progression and regression. So how do I do this? First, I draw out the layout of a view in the app I want to do. So here, this is a main view. I had to do quite a bit of math to make sure it all lined up how I wanted to do. And as you see, it took a few tries to get it right. Then I do pseudocode. So this is what I might need in this app. So I did, I think I'll need this file or this method within this part of the app. And then we get to move over to coding the actual thing. So here I coded a button that I can reuse over and over again. And then this is the menu button, which allows you to navigate in between during the app. So as you can see on this screen, the button that I coded is used 20 times in this, and you can customize it with what number that you want displayed on the button, and then the menu button is down here allowing you to move between your screens. The result. So let's start. So this is one of the views I was able to get done this year, which is your login view. It asks if you would like a password, and then you can create your password and confirm your password. This is really important for privacy and people who want that extra privacy, as this is the most personal data someone could ever give you, and it's really important that we give them as much privacy as possible. Now let's add some data. So here you can see that we're going to click on some buttons, and that's going to record the time that you clicked that button and the value of the button. So you can see it on the next page. Here you can see I'm using the menu button to click over to the statistics view, where you can see is the bar chart, the date of the data underneath, and the month and day. It goes as the time that's stored goes all the way to the millisecond, so it's always in the correct order. And as you get more and more data, you can scroll through that data. So where I would like to go from here, I'd like to continue to build this app. I'd like to get some copyrights, have some users test it, and then release it to the public. I'd love if I was able to do that. Thank you so much. That's been great.